Handicapper Steve here, handicapping the racing from Gulfstream Park here on Saturday. It is December the 29th, 2018. Gonna look at all the stakes races on the program from Gulfstream, but before I get on to that, remember to please follow me on Twitter at HorseRacingKid5 for more selections for race courses around the world, and I mean it around the world. So we have a whole bunch of stakes action on the program from Gulfstream, so we're gonna look at it races 4, 6, 8, 9, 10, and 11. So races 4, 6, 8, 9, 10, and 11. So let's get on to it. The fourth race from Gulfstream. It is the Llanos Stakes. It's going for a purse of $100,000 race for 3-year-olds and upwards. Field of 10 horses. The 10 horse is a main track only, so only 9 will go on the turf course. The distance of ground here of 1,000 meters, or the distance of ground of 5 furlongs on the turf course. 1,000 meters, 5 furlongs. The rail is up at, let's see how many feet. The rail's up at 36 feet, so that's kind of the inner portion of the turf course, but it's not so far on the inside rail. But my top selection here, I like the 7 horse Extravagant Kid. I'm going to go 7-3-6-5 in the superfecta, 7-3-6-5 super. Top selection 7 horse Extravagant Kid. This 5-year-old gelding by Kiss the Kid, reported as a gelding on the 25th of October of 2015. Brendan Walsh trains this one. Tyler Gaffleone picks up the mount. The horse's most recent outing came the 22nd of November at Churchill. Yielding turf course, 5.5 an allowance race for 86,000. The horse finished second by a half length there, and he just stalked most of the race. Got caught in the stretch run, but he ran a good effort there. Before that, Keeneland, October the 6th, 5.5 furlongs in the Grade 2 Woodford. The horse finished third by length, and again he stalked that day. Didn't break all that well, and then just kind of hit the wall at the end. And then the Lucky Coin at Saratoga, 5.5 furlongs, August 31st. Horse won by half length, almost on lead all throughout. Had a very good victory there. And then before then, the Kentucky Downs Turf Sprint Preview at Ellis, 5.5. The horse finished second by half length. Again, dueled for most of the race and just never had that good kick at the end. But I think coming back to Gulfstream, where this horse has run some good races in the past, I think she'll really do well. Ran this race last year. Well, not last year. It was January the 1st, so about 363 days ago. It ran this race on New Year's Day this year, and the horse finished 6 by 5 in the quarter lengths. And this horse just had a horrible trip that day. Steadied a few times. Should have did a lot better. After that, they took this horse to a claim race here at Gulfstream, where this horse won, and then ran him back in the Gulfstream Park sprint, where he facing graded horses. He just ran absolutely crap. But I think turf sprints is to his liking. He could sit stalking here, which I think you're going to want to do, and I think he can run well. 9-2. Watch out. I'm trying to beat the favorite in this race. So to recap my selections for the fourth from Gulfstream, it's Llanos Stakes. Gonna go with the 7 horse Extravagant Kid. Gonna go 7-3-6-5 in the super. So now let's get on to race number 6 from Gulfstream. It's the Abundanita Stakes. It's going for a purse of $100,000. This race is for fillies and mares, 3-year-olds and upwards. Field of 16 horses. The 15 is a main track only. The 16 isn't also eligible, but 14 will go on the turf course. Hopefully, the distance of ground here of 1,000 meters, if you want to go by that, or the distance of ground of 5 furlongs on the Gulfstream Park turf course. 1,000 meters, 5 furlongs, and I show the diagram. It just gives me a second to look down at my notes. Just bear with me. Sorry, I'm stupid. I can't do 2 things at the same time. Well, I can, but I get very stressed out doing these videos. My top selection here, I like the 1 horse Morticia. I'm gonna go 1-2-12-6 in the superfecta. 1-2-12-6 super. Top selection 1 horse Morticia. This 4-year-old filly by Twirling Candy. George Arnold trains. Tyler Gaffleone gets the mount. Tyler Gaffleone, you better have a good day. This horse's most recent outing came the 1st December over at Tampa. 5 furlongs in a Lightning City turf sprint. The horse finished 4th by 3.25 lengths there. Sent off as the even money favorite. This horse just didn't have that good turn of foot. First off the break, the horse probably needed the race. I think second off the break, coming back to Gulfstream, where this horse loves running, I think she'll run a lot better. Before that, she ran in the Buffalo County Stakes at Keeneland. 5.5 furlongs, October the 12th. The horse finished third by 1.25 lengths there. Was very wide and just never had that good kick. Stalked most of the race and just never excelled. It wasn't the day to win. And then the Smart and Fancy at Saratoga, 5.5 furlongs on the Melon. The horse finished third by 3 lengths. Sat third most of the race and just didn't weaken out of it, but didn't quicken up either, just stayed the distance. And then before then, the Caress at Saratoga, 5.5 furlongs, July 23rd. That was the first Monday of the meet, and it was a very wet course. This horse just did not get into it. Ruby Notion ran a hell of a race at some nice odds there. and won next start out along with the second place finisher Chatelaine, who won next start out. This horse just did not get into it. Her last victory came in a really good race of Penn National in the Penn National Ladies Dash. She won by length, almost on lead all throughout, a very easy, clear victory. And then before then, the bridled Sydney at Churchill, she finished second by head, getting caught right at the finish, but she ran a good effort. You know, she likes Gulfstream. Her only loss here came her last start locally. That came on the 10th of March, where she had a horrible trip. But like I said, I think she'll run well here today. 7-2, shit price, but I'll take her. So to recap my selections for the 6 from Gulfstream, it's the Bandanita Stakes. Gonna go with the 1 horse Morticia. I'm gonna go 1, 2, 12, 6 in the superfecta. To race number 8. Race 8 from Gulfstream, it's the Tropical Park Oaks. It's going for a purse of $75,000. This race is for 3-year-old fillies. Field of 16 horses. The 15 is the main track only, and the 16 isn't also eligible, so only 14 could go. The distance of ground here, 1,700 meters, or the distance of ground of 1 mile and 1/16th on the Gulfstream Park lawn, the turf course. 1,700 meters, a mile 16th. Top selection here in the Oaks. I like the number. Where are we? I like the number 7 horse here, Adina Del Sur. I'm gonna go 7, 13, 111 in the superfecta. 7, 13, 111 super. There's a all stakes pick 4 that begins with this race here, and I'm gonna give you a ticket here. In this race, in that pick 4, I would go 7, 13, 1. I think it's a 3-horse race between those 3 horses. So I'll cover them, all 3 of them, and so and I think all of them are decent prices. Well, 2 of them are. Third one not so much, but you know, 8-1 over 10-1 over 7-2. It's, you know, 7-2 could be worse, but you know, I think you could make some money with this pick 4 here. But my top selection would be the 7 horse Adina Del Sur. 3-year-old filly by Giants Causeway. Tom Albertrani trains. Luis Saez picks up the mount. The horse's most recent outing came locally here in New York at Aqueduct, 1 mile off the turf in the Winter Memory Stakes. The horse finished 6th by 5.5 lengths. Don't know why they ran this horse on the dirt when this horse is basically a turf horse. She just never got into it, and it wasn't the day to win. Before that, as my TV goes so loud, before that, this horse ran in the Pebbles at Belmont, soft going, 1 mile, October the 13th. The horse finished second by 2 3/4 lengths. Set the pace early on, but then just kind of got overtaken by Stella de Camelot, who ran that little bit of a better race. And then before then, the Grade 3 Lake Placid at the Spa, on 8th, August the 18th. The horse finished 4th by 7 lengths. Just got outfinished that day, weakened out of it. You know, this horse's last victory, you have to go all the way back to the Florida Oaks at Tampa last March, where the horse won by head, really closing up from the back of the pack. It was an all-out finish, and she got there. Good run. And then before that, she ran twice here at Gulfstream last winter, where she ran some good races, closing up well, but she just got beat by a better horse, who is The Way I Am. The Way I Am is not running this one today, so I think this horse is loaded here. Good post draw, good running style. She's versatile. She could either come from the front end or she could come from the back. Good here, 8-1. Love the price. I think she'll run well. So she's a horse I'll use as my top selection, and also, of course, use her in my pick 4. So to recap my selection now for the 8th from Gulfstream, it's the Tropical Park Oaks. Top selection, and use the 7 horse Adina Del Sur. Gonna go 7, 13, 111 in the superfecta. I'll go 7, 13, 1 in the pick 4. To race number 9. Race number 9 from Gulfstream, it's the Via Borghese Stakes. It's going for a purse of $75,000. Racer for fillies and mares, 3-year-olds and upwards. Field of 13 horses going the distance of ground of 1,900 meters, if you want to go by that, or the distance of ground of 1 mile and 3/16 on the Gulfstream Park lawn, the turf course. 1,900 meters, a mile 3/16. Same distance as the new Pegasus Turf Cup coming up in about 4 weeks' time. So, you know, it's a good, you know, they're getting to test out the distance right now, even though I think they've been running this distance for the last 5 years or so. But, you know, they don't run it that often, so it's good to see how it's going to play out, you know, this running styles. My top selection here in the Via Borghese, I like the 3 horse Holy Helena. I'm going to go 3, 4, 7, 2 in the superfecta, 3, 4, 7, 2 super. In the pick 4, I would go 3, 4. I think it's a 2-horse race between those two, but my top selection would be the 3-horse Holy Helena, 4-year-old filly by Go Zapper, getting blinkers off today, but first-time Lasix. I think that's going to be a good thing for this horse. Jimmy Jerkens trains. Tyler Gaffleone picks up the mount. The horse's most recent outing came 3rd November at Aqueduct, mile and 8th in the grade 3 turnback, the Alarm Handicap. The horse finished third by 12 lengths. You know, it was only her second start on dirt that afternoon, and, you know, she ran okay, but she didn't break all that well, but she ran okay. There was a lot. She ran worse races in her lifetime, but I think coming back to turf today with no blinkers and Lasix, I think she'll run a lot better. Before that, she ran at Belmont October the 7th, mile and a quarter in the Flower Bowl. She finished 7th by 16 and a quarter lengths and just had nothing. Was very wide, and that inner turf course at Belmont does not play towards her running style. You need to be on the front end there. This horse wasn't, and it just wasn't the day to win. And then back at Woodbine, June the 30th, mile and a quarter, and Dan Smartly. The horse finished third by 3 3/4 lengths. She didn't break all that well, but she was closing up well. If the race was mile 3/8, I think she could have won, but she ran a good effort there. And then before then, New York at Belmont, she finished fifth by 2 1/4 lengths, very wide, but she closed up well from basically nowhere, like a lot of the horses there. You know, it's 2 for 2 on this turf course, and is a course and distance winner by winning the very one at a mile 3/16 here at Gulfstream last winter. Won it by 1 1/4 lengths at 3.5 to 1. A great turn of fun. She won for fun, and then before that, she won a Lounge race in early February 2018 by a neck. Really, you know, having a great turn of foot. I like her a lot here. 5 to 2. She had price, but she should run well. You can find other prices, like I said, in some other races here. But to recap my selections for the nights from Gulfstream, it's the Viaburg AC Stakes. Gonna go with the 3-horse Holy Helena. I'm gonna go 3-4-7-2 in the superfecta. I'll go 3-4 in the pick 4. To race number 10. Race number 10 from Gulfstream. It's the Alan Jerkens Stakes. It's going for a purse of $100,000. Races for 3-year-olds and upwards. Field of 14 horses staying the distance of ground of 3,200 meters, or staying the distance of ground of 2 miles on the turf course. A distance not run very often here in North America, especially in stakes races. So when you see them, you have to really, they're fun races to watch and wager on. Hopefully in the next few years they'll add more of them. Like I said, I have a feeling in the next 10 years these staying races are going to be getting popular again, and I could see maybe a return of the Brewers Cup Marathon, but not on dirt. On turf, I could see a 2-mile race. I know the European horses would love that, but because they want to take the money. Because, like I said, there's like next to no staying horses in North America, but we'll have to wait and see how the pedigree, how the will stamina come back into the North America pedigrees, and I think it will, but I think we have to wait another decade or so. But my top selection here in the Alan Jerkens. Well, before I get on to it, just some of these stupid things in life. This race is going to be run, if it's run on the turf, at 2 miles. If it's taken off the turf because of rain and it's going to be run on the main track, it's going to be run at 10 furlongs, mile and a quarter. They're going to decrease the distance by 6 furlongs. That's kind of weird. I'm pretty sure Gulfstream can run if they have to run this race on the dirt. I'm pretty sure they can run 2 miles on the dirt. It would start basically at the 7 furlong pole on the backstretch, and they have a plenty enough run to the first turn. Even if they don't want to run it, say they want to just cut back distance a little bit, I'm pretty sure they can run even a mile 5/8 on the dirt. But why do they have to cut it back 6 whole furlongs if it's going to get taken off the turf? Hopefully it doesn't get taken off the turf, because then it's going to become a different race, and then I have no idea. But for the turf, if it stays on going 2 miles, I like the number 11 horse here, Nessie. I'll go 11-3-5-13 in the superfecta, 11-3-5-13 super. I'll go 11-3 in my pick 4. But the top selection is the 11 horse Nessie. This 5-year-old gelding by Flower Alley. Reported as a gelding on the 10th of May of 2016 here. Ian Wilkes trains. Julien Lepeau gets the leg up. The horse's most recent outing came the 18th of October at Keeneland, a mile and a half in the Great Dwarf Sycamore Stakes. The horse finished 9th by 8 1/4 lengths there and just had nothing. Never got into it, was towards the backpack most race, and it just wasn't the day to win. Before then, the Kentucky Turf Cup at Kentucky Downs, a mile and a half, 10th of the 8th. The horse finished 7th by 5 lengths. A little bit of a turn of foot at the end, but again, it was a little bit too late. And then in the Stars and Stripes at Arlington, a mile and a half, July the 7th, the horse finished 5th by 6 lengths. And again, didn't break all that well. A little bit of a turn of foot, but again, it wasn't the day to win. The horse's last victory came in the San Juan Capistrano down the hill at Santa Anita. Mile 3/4, April 22nd. The horse won by a length there. He stalked early on, had a great turn of foot, and he won nicely. But since then, he hasn't really run that A race. But I think off the break, staying, which I think he wants to do, I think he'll really do well. I think also, something I've noticed with this horse, he doesn't run his best in midsummer. He's the kind of horse that loves winter or early spring. When it's very warm out, just looking over his form, he doesn't run. So I'm guessing the warm weather wasn't to his liking there. South Florida at the end of December is not so warm, so it should suit him. And I think he's going to run well, 9-2. Another crap price, but could be worse. Could be 4-5. But to recount my selections now for the 10th from Gulfstream, it's the Alan Jerkens Stakes, not to be confused with the old King's Bishop at Saratoga, but this is the Alan Jerkens, staying 2 miles on the turf course. Top selection, I like the 11 horse Nessie. I'll go 11-3, 5-13 in the superfecta, 11-3 in the pick 4. To race 11. Race number 11 from Gulfstream, the nightcap. It's the Tropical Park Derby. It's going for a purse of $75,000. Races for 3-year-olds here. Field of 15 horses. The 15 is and also eligible, so only 14 will go on the turf course. Distance of ground of 1,700 meters, with a distance of ground of 1 mile and 1/16th on the turf course. 1,700 meters, a mile 16th turf. The rail is up at 108 feet. So that's the outer portion of the turf course. Top selection here in the Tropical Park Derby, a race that used to be run at Calder, but it used to be known as the first Derby of the year because it used to be always run on New Year's Day. And some good horses won this race. Barbaro won in 2006, then went on to win the Holy Bull, went on to win the Fountain of Youth and the Florida Derby, or I think the Holy Bull, and then I can't remember. I can't remember if he swept all 3 of the Florida races, Barbaro, but I know he did win the Holy Bull on a sloppy going from a wide poster, and I definitely know he won the Florida Derby, and we all know what he did in the Kentucky Derby, winning by a mile. And another horse that won this race when it was run at Calder years ago, Kitten's Joy in 2003, I believe, or 2004, something like that. He won this race very easily, and I remember watching that race so clearly at Aqueduct that afternoon on simulcast. But my top selection, getting off subject, my top selection here in Tropical Park Derby, I like the 4 horse Breaking the Rules. I'll go 4, 11, 7, 12 in the superfecta. 4, 11, 7, 12 super. To the pick 4, I'll use the 4 horse, I'll use the 11 horse definitely, and I'll use the 7 horse. He's bankable because I think he's another horse that could get a piece of it. I'll probably even throw in the 12 horse. My ticket, I'm using 2 horses in the middle leg, so I could probably afford to go a little extra deep in this race. So 4, 11, 7, 12. I'll use all 4 of them basically in the pick 4, but the top selection would be the 4 horse Breaking the Rules. 3-0 called by Warfront. Sugar McGahee trains. Red Ortiz Jr. picks up the mount. This horse hasn't been seen since the 6th of October at Belmont, mile and 8th inner turf course, an off 6-2 claimer. The horse won by 2 3/4 lengths. He stalked early on, got asked for the whip, and he excelled in the stretch. Easy victory there. Major improvement off the race before, which came the 1st September at Saratoga. 1 mile inner turf course, off 6-2 claimer. The horse finished 3rd by 1/4 lengths. Was closing up just a little bit too late that day. It was a little bit too wide also, but need a little extra kick there. And then before that, Saratoga 7 furlongs off 6-2 claimer. The horse finished 4th by 6 3/4 lengths, and was wide and didn't have that good turn of foot. But since they took this horse to turf, he's been running a lot better. Has been training well on the turf at Payson Park. I just think this horse is going to run a big one. Has a good poster from the inside. 4-1. Watch out for him. So to recount my selections for the 11th from Gulfstream, it's Tropical Park Derby. Gonna go with the 4 horse Breaking the Rules. I'll go 4, 11, 7, 12 in the superfecta, and I'll go 4, 11, 7, 12 in the pick 4 to end it off. So good luck to all, and please follow me on Twitter at Horse Racing Kid 5. Good luck, everybody.